Hello and welcome to this video. We were continuing the second chapter of your geography, that is agriculture. In this video, we will discuss about the impact of globalization on agriculture. Well, we repeatedly came across the term globalization. Globalization means merging the world economy together. And globalization is not a new phenomenon at all. It started even before the independence of India. When the East Indian Company, the Portuguese, they started trading with India, that was globalization. Means exchanging each other's products, each other's market, each known as globalization. So in 19th century, the European traders came to India, and they were mainly coming to India in order to get the spices, the cotton textile, and mainly the trader were coming to India in order to deal with the spices, the cotton textile, the indigo of India, which held a great market in the foreign countries, or in a great demand in their market. The Indian spices are, even to till date, the Indian spices had a great market all over India, all over the world. And in 19th century, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the Britishers, they came to India to trade uh, the spices, the cotton textile, the indigo of Indian subcontinent. During the British period, the cotton belts of India attracted the Britishers, and ultimately cotton was exported to Britain as a raw material for their textile industry. During that time, the industrialization was going on in Europe, and for the textile industry, the British traders were looking for Indian cotton as a main source of raw material. Cotton textile industry in Manchester and Liverpool flourished due to the availability of good quality cotton from the India. Farmers of Bihar were forced to grow indigo. You already read about all these things in your class 8th history. The cotton, the spices, the indigo of India were in a great demand all over the world because of their rich quality. And you have a clear idea about the Champaran movement, which were initiated by the Bihar peasant to not grow indigo in their land because the cultivation of indigo reduced the fertility of the soil. And even to date, the staple food crop of India is rice, and the cultivator of India were very much interested in growing rice rather than cultivating indigo. You have a clear idea about all those things. So from that time, the globalization was already on run. Under globalization, particularly after 1990, the farmers in India have been exposed to new challenges, tougher competition from foreign market, tougher competition from the farmers of foreign, etc. Despite being an important producer of rice, cotton, rubber, tea, coffee, jute, and spices, our agricultural products are not able to compete with the developed country because of the highly subsidized nature of their agriculture. In developed country, their government is spending too much in the field of agriculture. Their government is too eager to give subsidy, to provide subsidy to their farmer. But in our country, our government is not at all interested in spending money in agricultural sector. Our government is not interested in subsidizing the agricultural input to a higher rate, and because of that, our farmers are facing steep competition from foreign market. They are not being able to compete with the farmer of developed countries. To make agriculture successful and profitable, proper thrust should be given to the improvement of condition of marginal and small farmer. And the second reason is, in India, very few farmer have their own land, or very few farmer are large scale farmer who practice commercial agriculture. Some farmer are middle farmer who practice agriculture for both consumption and for commercialization. But majority of farmers do not have their own land. They merely provide labor to the large and medium scale farmer only. Then gradually the introduction of green revolution happened, which bring a revolutionary change in the field of agricultural sector. But it has its own drawback, like the green revolution remains successful only in the field of wheat, rice and maize. And second, its success remained limited to states like Punjab and Haryana. The third problem of green revolution is it create or it poses a lot of environmental threat, as there is a great use of pesticides and chemicals and irrigation in the green revolution. It poses high threat for the environment. So nowadays the green revolution is considered as gene revolution, which is genetic engineering. And in nowadays, environmentalists are switching more toward the organic farming rather than practicing green revolution. The next problem is the continuous rising population of India. The population is rising and rising and rising. So there is a great need of surplus production. But the green revolution itself is a failure. Looking after all these problems, the Indian economics think that the future of Indian farmer are getting reduced or getting narrower with the passage of time. India's rural population is about 833 million according to 2011 census, which depend upon 250 million hectare of agricultural land, which if we take for average is less than half a hectare per person, which is a serious concern. And in order to overcome all these problems, the Indian farmer are need to diversify their production. In India, maximum farmer concentrating more upon food grains only, which are their staple crop. They are focusing more on the production of rice and wheat only, and in some cases other grains like maize, bajra, jowar, etc. It is a high time for our farmers to commercialize their agriculture, to produce more commercial crop like cotton, like jute, like pulses, coffee, tea, etc. In that way only they can contribute more to the economy. If they continue to focus upon the food crop only, and that is to mainly rice and wheat only, their future will be very dark. They need to think to invest more in commercial crop, and it is a high time that our government should awake. It should invest more in agricultural sector. It should subsidize the agricultural input more, so that Indian farmer have a future. The Indian farmer need to diversify their production to the field of fruits, medicinal herbs, flowers, vegetable, biodiesel crops like jatropha and jojoba need much less irrigation than rice or sugarcane. India's diverse climate can harness a good amount of high value crop, but the problem is we are not interested. We are not capable. Our farmers are not economically so strong to invest in those fields. Otherwise, the highly diverse climate of India is a plus point for the farmer to grow a variety of crop. But due to shortage of capital and lack of government's interest in investing agricultural sector, the farmers are facing a lot of problem, and they will face the problem in a large scale in near future. So it is high time to diversify our agricultural sector. And the diversification of agricultural sector, the commercialization of agricultural sector can save the farmers. That's all about this chapter. Thank you.